I've hit and record.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
No.
we can.
Great. Hey, Tom, I'm still waiting on my ticket that you told me you were going to get for me on that cruise. So
What
do you need
cruise?
my address?
Your cruise?
Yeah, I'm going on the cruise and you told me you were buying for me. I don't know about everybody else, but at least for me anyway.
And me.
Oh, see, there you go. DJ too.
Yeah.
After the call, I'll give you my address. Oh, look, he goes on black screen now. He disappears. Great job, Tom. Love it. All right. So listen, so I'm super excited and stoked for today. This is going to be a call unlike any other. And so I share that with you because it's still early and there's about 35 people here. And if you know of people that should be here, I'm just telling you right now, they should be here. Text them, do whatever you got to do, but get them here. Because this is going to be a call like none other that we've done in the past. And I trust that it's going to go well. You're going to find a tremendous amount of value. We put a lot of time and energy and actually thought into this. And so it'll be really cool. And oh, by the way, we've never done it before, certainly not on camera. So that even makes it a little bit extra. I don't know, the pressure's on, right? But
Hey, Curtis, can we
yeah.
have everyone just text 1 or 2 people right now the link and just say get on?
Sure. And if we want to talk like Liz, we'll put get your ass on here. That's on a call with, just so you guys know, on a call with Liz yesterday, and she was a little passionate. I'm just saying. But we loved it. We loved it.
Yes. we did.
But yeah, if you want to take a minute.
It's our favorite thing about Liz, our absolute, like people say, what do you like about Liz? Oh my God, her passion, when it unleashes, like step back because there's going to be a sound wave and you're going to have to, and we love that, right? We're all here. We're all passionate, right? If you see all of us, though, we love this business. We love talking, inspiring, partnering with agents and seeing them take steps and grow. And so we love your passion, Kim Martin, too.
We do. We do. And so anyway, so text them, do whatever you got to do, get them on here because we'll do that probably in about 10 minutes. I want to give people a chance because we'll go from 30 to about 80 people. And I don't want to miss the beginning of the exercise and what we're about to do. But anyway, before we begin, I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you, but I'm in need of a win. And I need to hear some wins. And so I come to these phone calls because it fills my bucket. You know, my biggest win, and I'll go ahead and start. My biggest win was yesterday. I had the opportunity, pleasure, and privilege to be on a call with a bunch of amazing individuals. Some of you actually on this call were there. That wasn't necessarily my win. My win was the feedback that I received. I received a very special voicemail that said how much they appreciated me. And it came at just the perfect time. Because again, I don't know about you, but I've been in need of a win. I've been getting beat up. I've been getting my ass kicked left, right, sideways, you name it. This real estate market, woo! Oh my gosh. And so I really needed that. I just wanted to say thank you to that person. Actually, I already did, but I'll say thank you again. And again, that was my win, came at the absolute perfect time. But here's the deal. I'm in need of some more wins. I come to this phone call, like I said, to get my bucket filled. And so I want to hear from you. What are some of the wins you guys have experienced over this past week? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Or if you choose, come right on screen and tell us about that.
I have a win I can share.
Sure.
Hi, Curtis. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
So I've had a really, really difficult listing that has fallen through twice already in the past 20 days. And we just went under contract again for the 3rd time yesterday. And my seller called me this morning while I was on my walk and said, you know, Krista, if it wasn't for your guidance and level-headedness, I would have gone crazy with everything that's happened to my house because he's just very emotional and, you know, we take on all that, right? So it was very rewarding because it's been hard, obviously, on me as an agent. And it was just so nice that he took the time to call me this morning to thank me that I have been his pillar throughout the last 20 days and two failed transactions. So it was nice to hear.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, and congratulations on getting it back under the deal, back under contract. I see somebody said, Ruth said she got a listing. Whoops, or check, oh, it disappeared on me. I got a listing, clear to close, and a buyer got his offer accepted. Love it. Just texted 24 people. Oh, somebody texted 24 people. Thanks for doing that. All right, who else got to win? We ain't done yet. I need at least 3. There's no wins this week, then you are in the right place for the perfect call. But no, come on. Tell me.
I have one.
Talk to me, Lizette.
Yeah, so I got myself into a couple of properties last year, probably more than I should have, but I got done with all of them. I just refinanced one. I just rented it out. It's all good and pretty, beautiful, all set to go, and I'm proud of that because I figured it out. I'm happy I did it. I'm happy I got through it. That was my win for me this week.
Awesome, we love that. I see Emilio, congrats, 4 closings last week and this week combined. Good for you. So that's awesome. I need one more. Come on.
I'll share.
Oh.
Oh, go ahead. So I have 3 closings this week, 3 in residential properties, 3 leases, and I just got a contract on one of my listings representing both sides yesterday. So super excited.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Love that. Thank you for sharing. And I heard one more. Steve, I think you were about to pipe up too.
Yes, sir, I was real quick. So met with a small independent brokerage this week. I asked for help from Tom and he told me to take a walk and do it myself, which is exactly what I needed because he believed in me when I don't believe in myself. So I love you, Tom, and thank you for that. Went on my own and it went really well. So that is my win for the week.
Steve, congratulations on that. By the way, I always tell Steve yes, never a no, right?
That's correct.
This time I had to say no, you're better than me and you're better than what you think you are and you got this, so stop questioning yourself. And even top producers and megas and highly successful people can feel that way sometimes. So Steve, thanks for saying thank you to me, but you did it, bud.
No, thank you for saying no. That's what I needed, and I appreciate you. I appreciate that.
Oh, I'm sure when you hung up, you were probably saying other words about that.
Never.
He did. He did. He called me and he said, that son of a.
I want to say one thing too, to all the single parents out there and all the parents out there, whether you're a single parent or not, especially if you're a single parent, how much time and effort and work it is to balance getting on calls, working and taking care of a child, an infant, or whatever the age of that child is, because I'm up here in North Carolina and I'm getting I got a dose of that. And I'm like, oh, that's simple. I'll go up there for 10 days. I got a backache. Seriously, it is work. So I commend all moms and dads, especially single moms and dads, and balance.
That's good that you said all that. And let's just be real, guys. So I'm kind of Tom's accountability partner a little bit. He hasn't done a lick of work this week. Like, he is playing grandpa. That's it. I'm just saying, I've called him. How many calls you make today? None. I'm playing with the baby. What are you doing? Oh, I'm going to pick the other one up at school. Like, he has done nothing this week. Get your ass back to work. Come on.
Won't say that. Kim's on here.
So don't let him fool you.
Curtis,
Yeah.
hang on, time out. I have to give Tom a little bit of kudos. He was text messaging. He was communicating. He did do leadership skills, and he always answered his phone, even though he may not have been making his calls. He was working on his rev share in his family tree.
I can pipe in second. Tom was sending emails out, caused an agent to reach out to him.
He
Called me because she's in my backyard. and said, I just got a call, an email from Tom today. I don't know who he is, but I have questions about EXP. So he might not be making calls on the phone, but it's hard to make calls with kids, but you can email and you can text and you can do all the things. So Tom, you might not be working as hard as you should. We're going to have to give you, some of you parents going to give Tom some how to work when you got a baby so that he can figure out how to do this because you do it. But he is doing what he can, which is the banner of a parent, which is I'm doing what I can, when I can, with what I got. And maybe I can't do all the things, but I'm not stuck at nothing. So I'm sticking up for you, Tom, in this case.
Yeah, you guys give Tom too much grace. That's way too nice. I'm with Steve. Steve, I should give to him what he gave to Steve, which is get your ass right. No, not doing it. You do it.
It's okay, because I kicked his butt last night via text message, and Kim was on the text message. And that was so funny because Kim and I were texting. I had no idea Tom was in the thread. And then he popped in and was being a smart ass. And yeah, I had Kim's back all the way. So I love you, Tom. We love you, Tom. And we hold you accountable because you hold us accountable. Thank you.
Tom, I want to know how many calls did Curtis make?
Yes. Called you out, Curtis.
Not DJ always coming in with like the one-liners that just like drops mic, ends call.
All right.
Oh, he made
today's
several.
my day.
He made several to me.
There's
True.
a couple more wins, Curtis, in the chat. If you want to shout them out.
What do we got? Agent Pro Planner. We got an Agent Pro Planner. We got, let me see. Somebody said, I love her. I got
House
that.
on Ormond Beachside go under contract, full price in 4 hours. Virginia submitted her first contract for a buyer.
Way to go, Virginia.
Mia thinks she's close to capping. And Virginia said she's hoping to submit another one today. Yeah, I just want to shout out everybody we love to celebrate. It's so easy to talk about what's not working. When you start your day focusing on your wins, it changes your energy of the day. And we're going to do an exercise in just a minute. It's going to change some energy. I'm excited.
And we are. And that's,
Curtis, one more win.
yeah.
Okay, so Tim McGuire just is on this call and he just had surgery this week. So that's somebody that shows up, suits up, shows up, and we're so happy that he's better.
Love it. Thank you, Tim. I don't see you on my screen right now, but I know you're in here. Glad you made it through surgery well and you're on here. That's dedication, my friend. Thank you. I love it. All right, here's the deal. So I brought all that up. We needed to start with a win. You know, oftentimes we get on here, we beat you up a little bit and you got to get on the phone, you got to lead gen, you got to do all the things. And we just wanted to take it in a completely different direction. Because I don't know about you, like I said earlier in the conversation, I've been getting my ass kicked left and right. Here's what my day looked like. And I don't know that yours looked like this, but I think you'll kind of see or can think back and maybe your day did kind of look a little similar. So yesterday I started out, I was all fired up. I got the opportunity to go talk to my loan officers and run their sales meeting for them. And they were down in the dumpers. I got bodies on the floor laying everywhere. And I go in at a level 10 and I come out of that sucker at like a level 6. Like I'm just drained. I'm like, oh my God, right? And then I got home. I got the opportunity to talk to somebody. They were having a great day. So then I was brought back up to about a 9 or a 10. Love that because I'm sharing their win with them. Then I get on the phone with somebody else. I got to pick them up off the floor and I go from my level 10 back down to my level 5. And I'm like, oh my God, can I please just make it through the day? We haven't even hit noon yet. Then I get the pleasure to get on the phone with a bunch of leaders like yourselves, and well, on Zoom, leaders like yourselves. And we had what I believe was a great call. And of course, got some feedback from that shortly thereafter. And I'm back up to a 10. And then somewhere last night, I got to talk to a couple of other people. Once again, I go from a 10 and I'm down to a 7. And I was talking to somebody and I said, hey, how you doing? And they said, oh, it's been that kind of a day. I don't even understand where the hours, the time went, this, that, and the other. And I said, well, tell me more what you mean about that. And they said, well, I didn't even get the things done that I was looking to get done. And rather than have them live in that pain, I just let that conversation go and we moved on to a different topic because I didn't want them to feel that anymore and they were pulling me down. And again, my day went from I'm at a 10 to a 6 and back up to an 8 and then back down to a 5. And I don't know if you guys are all experiencing that, whether it's, you know, I started out my day with the best of intentions as far as lead generating, and then all of a sudden I get the home inspection report and it's an absolute disaster. Or I get on the phone and I do start lead generating and I talk to a client that I thought was in my pipeline that was a buyer who no longer is my buyer because they chose another realtor, decided to back out, or, you know, whatever, for whatever reason, right? And we go through our day like that, going up and down and so on and so forth. And I don't know about you, but it's draining. And it's really, really, really challenging to keep my head in the right mind space and remind myself why I'm doing all of this. Like, what in the world? And why am I doing all of this to begin with? So, with that being said, I got the opportunity to talk to Tom last night, and Tom says, hey, for tomorrow's call, let's do this. I said, nah, I don't think that's where we're at. I think we need to go in a different direction. I think we need to work on ourselves. I think we need a checkup from the neck up. I think we need to get refocused so that we can make it through whatever crazy things that we're experiencing, whatever crazy thing in the market, because none of that honestly really matters. What matters is why you're here and why you do what you do. And so Debbie's going to take you through an exercise. And if you've got the time and the space, I see some of you guys are walking, you might be driving, but this exercise will require some concentration, some inner thought. Get busy with yourself for a few moments. And I think you guys will find it all to be tremendously valuable. So if you can be in a safe, quiet, whatever space to go through this exercise, because it's going to require a little bit of writing, it's going to require a little bit of thinking. And the opportunity to spend time with yourself. Now, I know we're all on Zoom, so if when we do this exercise, you choose to go on black screen, I totally get it. I'm going to stay on screen. But anyway, Debbie, I think that's enough of me chatting. Debbie, why don't you take it away?
Awesome. Yes. Thank you so much. So let me ask you a question before we get started. So we're going to walk through this exercise. Grab a piece of paper and a pen. And if you can eliminate distractions, that'd be great. If you have kids running around, you can't eliminate those distractions. But if at all possible, put your phone on the side, you know, get focused. And as we get started, as Curtis said, if you want to turn your screen on black screen, that's fine. Real quick before we started, I want to take you back to the day you decided to get your real estate license, just for a moment, the day you decided to get it. And I want you to think for a moment, what were you thinking about that day? What were you hoping that getting your real estate license would bring you? I'm going to give you just about 5 seconds, 10 seconds to think about that day. Take yourself back to the day you were going to get your real estate license. What were you hoping that would bring your life? And I'm going to be quiet for about 10 seconds. I just want you to think about it real quick. So to live that's your dream life, right? And we talk a lot about visioning and thinking about where you're going, not focusing on where you are. To live a dream life, you first have to know what a dream life would look like. And it's different for everyone, but it's important to get clear on what you want that life to be. So we're going to do an exercise on getting clear on that dream life. Now, a lot of times we do these big visions of, oh my gosh, I got the Mercedes, you know, I got the house on the beach. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about why you got into real estate and what your dream real estate life would look like. So I'm going to ask you to trust me here. And I'm going to ask you we're going to take a couple of deep breaths together. Now, It's helpful if you can close your eyes to do this, but if you don't want to close your eyes, that's fine. But I'm going to ask you to take 5 deep breaths. So take a deep breath, breathe in and breathe out. Take a deep breath in, breathe out. You want to close your eyes, you can. Take a deep breath in, breathe out. Deep breath in, breathe out. One more. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And if you feel okay closing your eyes, go ahead. So I want you to imagine yourself 5 years from now. You're selling real estate, but your real estate business has grown fantastically in 5 years. You're waking up and you feel really happy. You're living your dream life and you know that you have a great day ahead of you. Once you can strongly imagine yourself in bed on that morning, you can open your eyes and start writing out in detail your perfect day. Now, wait just a moment. You can write down everything that happens from the moment you wake up till you go back to sleep. And I'm going to ask you some questions in just a second to help you do that. On top of the page, I want you to write the date that you're imagining 5 years in the future. And when you do this exercise, I want you to add as many senses as possible. I want you to imagine what you're smelling, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're feeling. And it may be what you're tasting. Now, I don't want you to edit what you write. I don't want you to think about whether it's possible or not. This is an exercise to help you keep dreaming. I want you to believe that anything is possible and write freely from your heart. Remember, this is your perfect day. You're meant to be tapping into your deepest desires rather than thinking about what's realistic and possible. So here's a question I want you to ask yourself. What time are you waking up? Write that down. Where are you waking up? If you're not waking up at home, where are you waking up? What's the weather like? Do you have a morning routine? And if so, what does your morning routine look like? Are you exercising? Are you meditating? Are you journaling? Are you masterminding? What type of activities are you doing throughout the day? And how long are you spending on each of those activities? What are you eating or drinking throughout the day? And where are you doing that? Are you alone? Are you with people? Do you see anyone throughout your day? And if so, who? And what do you do together? What wins are you celebrating that day? What gratitude do you hear from the people that you're interacting with? As you're moving into the afternoon of your day, how does the early evening look? What does your dinner look like? And who are you spending it with? Do you have an evening routine? So now it's post dinner. What are you doing in the evening? And what time do you see yourself going to bed? And how do you feel at the end of this perfect day? As you're lying in bed, what thoughts are going through your head? So I'm going to give you about another minute to finish up what you're writing. About another 30 seconds. If you feel like there's more to write, you can always complete this later today. We're going to wind up in a few seconds. All right, so let's all come back. I want you to take a deep breath. Would anyone want to share what that experience was like? I'm not asking you to share what's in what you wrote. You can if you choose, but let's get some feedback on what that experience was like for you.
For me, the thought, I mean, it was pretty incredible, actually, to see that. That's what I've been thinking about for quite some time, and just to put it out there again. So I got to go for it.
Great, Ted. Thank you. Anyone else?
For me, it was peaceful. Just taking a breath and envisioning it that way. Sometimes our brains are so busy, it's hard to like focus and imagine.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Mia. Anyone else? Hey, Lizette, I see your hand raising in real life.
Yes. So I just, it was nice to go back to like seeing where I'm gonna be at. You know, the beach environment, the peace, and you know, how much I love it. Like it was like, it really brought back to reality. Oh my God, this is something I forgot that I'm aiming for between everything, you know? So I love that, experiencing what I was doing, exactly knew what I was gonna eat, who I was with. I already knew everything. I just wrote it down.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else?
I was going to say thank you, Debbie, for those questions, because you helped me actually flesh out and develop a full vision of what that looks like. Like Lizette said, down to what I ate, who I was eating with. And as I was writing things down at the end of it, I looked at it and I was like, so I get to do what I love and hang with the people I love. Okay, that's the gist, which is awesome. But then when I started looking at the little details, and I'll give you one detail in particular, because 5 years from now, my oldest would be coming home from college around the time frame that I chose. And so I was able to even write down that she's home from college and we're going shopping after I just took 2 listings that day. Like what? Those little things. And I'm like, this really would be the perfect day. And I wrote that it would be the day before I go on a 20-day vacation with my husband. Like, what? And little things that I hadn't really thought of, like, yes, it would be great to do, and that would be the overall goal, to spend time with family. But the questions that you asked provoked me to actually put more detail into it. It makes me want it more instead of it just being a general, I want to be successful or I want to spend time with my family. It gave me that detail that made me want it even more. So thank you.
That's great, Tiffany. Thanks for verbalizing that for us. So you might be saying, so what can I do with this exercise now that I've done it? I think there's a couple of things that I'd like to unpack. First of all, I asked you to put the date on there. So you can keep this, right? You can keep this. You can put it in a place where you can revisit it and relook at it. But I want you to ask yourself the question, that vision that you had 5 years in the future, how can you incorporate those items now, right? What things can you incorporate today? For instance, maybe your morning routine was an hour of yoga. And right now your life is so crazy. You're like, I just don't have the space to do that. Could you do 5 minutes? Could you walk? Could you start to bring some of your dream into today's life? If it was a dinner with a loved one, have a dinner with your loved one, but think about having that dinner and tie it together to, this is what I want my dream life. Because if we can start to bring our dream into today, number one, we really connect to that dream on a conscious level and unconscious level. But number two, we're able to bring small pieces of joy into our daily life, because we are ping pong balling around with our emotions, right? And I think it brings more presence to our life if we're able to bring small pieces of that dream. Maybe it's driving a dream car. Maybe you saw yourself driving to work in a Mercedes, not a Maserati, but it was a Mercedes. Well, how can you get in your car and be grateful for the car that you have and be excited that that this car is getting you where you need to go, and yet you know that one day you're going to be driving a car that's different, right? So how do you tie that together? And then a suggestion is to come back to the exercise in a few days and compare what you wrote to your goals. Not today, because today it's still an emotional experience, and I want you to revel in that joy and not drive, and let's do goals and da-da-da. That's not the purpose. Come back in a couple of days, maybe Monday, right? Put it aside until Monday, and then look at that dream day and say, how do I make sure my goals and my activities are tracking for that, right? Because that's why we do what we do. Do we want to be retired and live on a beach and drive a Maserati and not work? For sure. But most of us are going to sell real estate for a long time. So how do we take that dream of, I'm still a real estate agent and I'm still working, or I'm still doing something that I love, and connect that dream, not the pie in the sky dream, but the real dream of what we envisioned our real estate business looking like. And maybe you're leveraged. Maybe you're out of your business. Maybe you're leading a team, but you're leading a team. You're a business owner and you're meeting with your team and talking to them about being successful. So, on Monday, sit down and connect your goals or create a vision board, because I think that'll really close out this exercise and you'll find it even more valuable today. Does anybody have anything they'd like to share?
Deb, I want to say something. So it's funny, when you went at the end of the exercise, the purpose of the exercise that I got, or what I'm seeing for me, is I wrote all that stuff down. I have a page and a half of notes. You can't see it. But anyway, it's a lot of the stuff that I consistently write down every time I do a similar exercise to this. What I did do at the very end is I wrote down, you are worthy and deserving, do the work, get rid of the distractions, right? So often we want something bigger and greater, and we want to compare ourselves to others. But if we start comparing ourselves to others, we're not being authentic to our real self, right? So how do we become that other person? Be yourself but know why you're looking to achieve that, what it's doing for you personally first, and then what is it doing for your big why. So that's how I put things into perspective for me, is because these exercises pull me back on track, yet the emotion is exactly what we need to get back on track, because this emotion is way better than the emotion of negativity, blame, resentment, anger, and going back to a real job, because not a real job, going back to a 9-to-5 job because we're not implementing the work needed and necessary to achieve our goal. We'd rather deal with painful situations, the easy way out, and live miserable than invest the time. Everything worthwhile is uphill, right? Isn't that what John Maxwell always says? Everything worthwhile is uphill. Correct. Yeah, we were all there together. So nothing that that is worthwhile comes easy. It's always an uphill battle, but it's beautiful view from the top. Most people don't want to do the work. So
John Maxwell says we have uphill dreams and downhill habits. Right. We have uphill dreams, right? Everybody thinks that successful people, what did he say? Woke up one day and landed on top of the mountain and went, wow, look, I'm just so successful. They tried something at work. They tried something at work. They tried something at work. Success is uphill. Everybody that winds up at the top of the mountain tried something, failed, got back up, tried something, failed, got back up, tried something, failed, took 3 steps, tried something, failed, got back up, tried something, failed, took 3 steps, right? It isn't a straight line. And yet we get frustrated because we think that we're the only ones that are experiencing these forward and backward. No, we all do. Nobody lands on top of the mountain successful with no effort. And we think that the pathway to success is success, but the pathway to success is failure. Trying something doesn't work. Trying something doesn't work. Sorry, trying something doesn't work. But it really is. It's trying something. It either works or doesn't. Sorry about the dog. Trying something doesn't work. But it's
honestly
up again.
Honestly, Deb, here's the question you need to ask yourself, because you can say whatever you want, but you have to be honest with yourself, right? You know the truth. Are you even making an effort to try? Are you making an effort to lead generate? Are you doing it and then failing, or are you doing it once and failing and saying it doesn't work? So if you consistently do it over a period of time, then you can track your numbers. Then you can see the real numbers. So if you say that doesn't work and I want a bigger life, you're not even doing the work to try. So DJ, I'm sorry. I jumped right in above your hand. I'm sorry. I'm going to mute myself.
Tom, that's not the first time.
It may not be the last.
It may not be the last. You know, one of the things that I felt as I was going through here and I look at it is that so much of what I wrote down is my life now. And the parts of it that I want to change are within my ability to change right now if I wanted to. You know, some of it is a longer term goal, but most of what I do is what I want to do. And now lunch at a restaurant with wine, and it's probably not on my agenda every day, but I could if I want to. So, it's like, if you look at it and say, how much of this am I really doing and how much am I grateful for, that I am living kind of a good life right now. So I'm really grateful. Thank you, Debbie. That was awesome.
That was awesome to hear. Thanks, DJ. And somebody in the chat actually said gratitude is what they felt as well. So I'm glad Desiree said that. So I'm glad she got that out of that. Deb, were you going to say something?
No, I don't have anything.
Well, does anybody else have any comments? Any feedback, any ahas, anything they got from this exercise they want to share?
Well, I wanted to add to what I said before, because when I heard, I think it was Tiffany talk about her, I also wanted to mention, the other day I was at church and I was talking to this 93-year-old lady. And I was sitting by myself on the table, and she sat in front of me and she started talking to me. And I remembered, so in that we were doing the exercise, one of the things that I thought about what I was doing during the day was actually going around the neighborhood. So I'm looking, by the way, my where I'm gonna be at in 5 years, where I am going to be at in 5 years. I am going to be there. It's in a beach house in Combate, Puerto Rico. I already know the house. I've already talked to the owner. I keep talking to her about her selling that property. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I want it. And my vision is that during the day, I'm going to be walking around the neighborhood talking to all the old ladies. I know this sounds weird, but I actually enjoy that. I actually enjoy talking to older people, like 90, 93, 80. I like listening to their stories. They share, they don't really, they're very transparent. I like the way they are. So that's what I was looking at. I wanted to share that because I thought it was something that came up that I forgot. I really enjoyed. And I forgot that I really enjoy those kind of things, and the little simple things of listening to people. And then you said, what are going to be people saying about you? Well, oh, she's so kind. You helped me put away the chair. I don't know, some dumb thing that they asked me to do while I was visiting them. And I saw that. I just wanted to share that. I just thought it was pretty amazing.
Awesome. Thank you, Lizette. Claire, I think you were going to come off mute for a second. Were you going to say something?
What was interesting about this exercise is remembering some of my bold training when we had to talk to our older self when we were having that conversation, and remembering some of the things that were in those previous letters have already come to pass, and how some of the items are yet to come to pass, and how in the whole grand scheme of things, staying consistent, staying true to my values, staying true to the people that I'm surrounded by, staying true to the growth that I want to continue consistently, leads to that peaceful fulfillment that it is coming to pass. So it gives me encouragement that no matter how many times we do exercises like this, they're impactful, they're meaningful in two different ways, not for just where we're going to be, however, how far we've come through the struggles that we've been through, those breakdowns to get to the breakthroughs. So Debbie, thank you for this, because it reminds us intentionally that no matter what, nothing, absolutely nothing can stop any of us from obtaining our goals, attaining those visions, those relationships, those healings, that recovery from that sick way of thinking back in the past. And thank you. Appreciate you.
Awesome. Thank you, Claire. And Liz, did you have something?
Yeah, so it's kind of cool, right? Where I look at myself 5 years, I look at myself 5 years ago, and when I was doing the exercise, how much a lot of the things that I wanted changed. And I look at what I'm looking at now, and I guess I can say I'm a little more humbled by what I wanted, because of all the things that happened to me in the past 5 years, right? And I was like, oh my God, asked me 5 years ago, I was like, oh my God, I want like a yacht and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And, now it's like, I want to be able to go show property and have my husband drive me because I don't feel like driving. And like DJ said, it was, hey, like, I'm already living that life. And there's still some things, like Claire said, that haven't come to pass, but am I really trying every single day to bring the life that I want to live into fruition? And I am. Like, it's so amazing where I'm able to say, babe, I don't feel like driving. Do you want to take me to this showing? Because I don't feel like driving an hour. And he's like, okay, because I had the luxury of being able to retire my husband after he got fired from corporate America, So that to me is, wow, I'm living my unreal life without even thinking about it. And I wake up every morning and I journal, and I thank God every single morning, not just for waking me up in the morning, thanking for my husband and my kids and my family, but also thanking him for the struggles that I went through, because I get to appreciate the life that I'm living now on a whole nother level. So Debbie, thank you. Like, this was amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. And we're proud of you, by the way. We're proud of all of you. So I'm glad you find value in today's exercise. We put a lot of thought into it, and I thought it was really important, again, with all the nonsense out there that's so hard to disconnect ourselves with, that sort of creeps into obviously our mindset and so on and so forth, and does play effect on us. And so this is a very grounding exercise, and I trust you all found value. And from your feedback, you're telling me that you did. I have one final thing to share, and y'all can get into your after party. And so I don't know why I've never seen this book before, but I saw this little book the other day. Actually, somebody read from it. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So I ordered it. It was like a whole $7. I'm not telling you to go get it, but I wanted to share with you something from it. And it's from Og Mandino, the greatest salesman in the world. And some of you may have heard of it, some of you may have not, but this is so weird. So I get this book, I get all excited. I'm like, oh, I'm going to sit down and read it. It's not that kind of book. Like, you just read from it a little bit daily or whatever, right? So last night I come up to my office when I was thinking about all these things and making calls. And this thing, it's like magic. I don't know how the world works or whatever, but like magic. I flip to a page, I start reading this little section. I'm like, this is perfect. So if you'll bear with me for a moment, I'm going to share this little excerpt with you. Today I begin a new life. Today I shed my old skin, which hath too long suffered the bruises of failure and the wounds of mediocrity. Today I am born anew, and my birthplace is a vineyard where there is fruit for all. Today I will pluck grapes of wisdom from the tallest and fullest vines in the vineyard, for these were planted by the wisest of my profession who have come before me, generation upon generation. Today I will savor the taste of grapes from these vines, and verily I will swallow the seed of success buried in each, and new life will sprout within me. The career I have chosen is laden with opportunity, yet is fraught with heartbreak and despair in the bodies of those who have failed. Where they piled up atop one another, would cast a shadow down upon all of the pyramids of the earth. Yet I will not fail, as the others, for in my hands I now hold the charts which will guide me through perilous waters to shores which only yesterday seemed but a dream. That's all I got.
That was awesome. And you know what, think about that, right? The greatest salesman, right? And the pathway has already been put in place, right, by others before us. Just like you guys, I got 20, actually, I keep saying 23 years. This year is May will be 24 years in this business. Lots of mistakes, paid many title insurance policies and refrigerators and all that stuff. But here's the thing that you guys have. You have, between Debbie, DJ, Claire, Curtis, and myself, over 130 years of DJ's holding her head, over 130 years of knowledge. Guys, that's pretty awesome. Holy cow, that's a lot of time.
Tom, I do not give you permission to tell everyone how old we are. Like, seriously.
That number is actually a little low, Tom. I'm sorry, but it is, because I'm almost hitting 20.
And I'm at 24, that's 45.
I'm
Curtis?
at 40.
80. Curtis?
DJ,
Almost.
I've been in real estate for 12 months.
you're so full of shit.
DJ?
30. Isn't that crazy?
210. Yeah, I mean 110. See, yeah, we're close. Yeah. So.
And the big thing is we love serving y'all. Everyone who's on this Friday call, we understand the commitment you've made to your businesses, and we enjoy pouring into your businesses. so that you don't have to have your tank unfilled at any given point in time. This is what coaches do, is helping you self-aware to fill your tank on a daily basis. And thank you, Tom, for having all of us and aligning with all of us so that we can learn from each other and collaborate at a higher level. Thank you, Tom.
One of those things I would say, I speak for all of us, is that a day doesn't go by that I don't learn something new.
Yeah, I agree, DJ.
Yeah. Always, you know, that 1% difference every day is that compound interest, right? You know, what just become 1% better every day, and it's never ending work, right? 1% better. Even the greatest of everyone in their profession are always looking to improve. When you're not looking to improve, it's like a river that's no longer flowing and everything in it dies. Right? So be the river and be forever flowing, because there's new ventures as you keep every day. So awesome call.
I want to
Can I
thank
say
all
something?
of you for showing up. I just really do. You know, I had a great conversation with somebody yesterday, and we, as you can tell, love this business. We are passionate about this business. We are passionate about the impact this business can have on agents' lives. And the reason all of us pal around together is because we all think the same way. We love it. It's an honor. I just want to thank you all for showing up every Friday, because my bucket gets filled on this call every Friday. Every Friday, my bucket gets filled. Whether I'm presenting, whether I'm listening, whether someone else is talking, this fills my soul. And I know I can speak for DJ, Tom, Curtis, and Claire, and all the leaders on this call. This call fills our buckets, and we are so honored that you all show up here every Friday, because you are the people that fill our buckets, because we love to be around growth-minded people, not people who figured it out. It's great if you figured it out, but if you have people who say, look, didn't figure it out yesterday, but I'm going to figure it out today. Didn't figure out today, but I'm going to figure out tomorrow. Didn't figure out tomorrow, but I'm going to keep getting back up, because I know if I have uphill dreams and uphill habits. It's the getting back up, and you all inspire me every Friday that I can get back up, because I struggle just like you. Curtis talked about his up and down day. My days are like that too. Yay. Oh, yay. Oh, yeah. Every day. Right. And some days they're down a couple days in a row, in which case I'm reaching out to Curtis, reaching out to Tom, reaching out to DJ, reaching out to you all, because I need to be pulled back up, and you all pull me back up every day and give me the courage that I can keep going, because I see you all pushing through your limits, and you all give me the courage to push through my limits. So thank you all for showing up here and filling my bucket.
Awesome. Thanks, Deb. Krista.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say I'm very comfortable with this group, as you can see, because I'm a mess and I'm sweaty and I'm still on camera. But I wanted to thank all of the coaches, because I reached out to Claire this week, and we talked for 10 minutes and it made a whole difference in my day that day. So thank you, Claire. And I also wanted to share an analogy that somebody shared with me a couple weeks ago, and it's been on my mind. Like, as the greatest salesman, if you go to the beach and you see the beach and you see all the sand, and then all of a sudden you pick up a piece, a little, handful of sand, and all of us seem to always be focused on the little bit of sand that you have in your hand. But if you really think about it, we are all abundant, and we have all the sand in the world to fill us with infinite possibilities. And this business is so amazing. Yes, it's an up and down and a roller coaster, but that's why these meetings are so key for us, because I feel abundant after this meeting. I feel like I have so many infinite possibilities in my life, thanks to all of you. And I just wanted to share, that analogy of going to the beach and looking at it, and it's all out there for us. So thank you for letting me share that.
Awesome.
Looks like
Curtis,
it's after party time.
Anything else to close, or do we hand it over to?
Hey, it's after party time. Listen.
Kim Martin.
Stop
Wong?
the recording.